Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in, man, before we start building on a topic. Hopefully everybody is having a powerful Tuesday thus far, man. We got some venting and we got some building to do, man. Some important stuff that we got to cover today. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to tune on in, man, so you won't miss this important information. Got some important stuff we need to discuss, man. So everybody come on, tune in and tap in with your boy, man. Tune in and tap in. What's the word, man? How everybody living out here? Magic Rims, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? Louisiana, beautiful goddess Keys, peace queen. What's going on? How everybody holding up out here, man? How everybody holding up in this wicked world? Travian, what's going on with you, my brother? Positive vibes as well, man. That's all we can do. Send them positive vibes. That's all we can do. Send them positive vibes. Hopefully everybody holding up out here, man. Hopefully everybody holding up. Hopefully everybody holding up out here, man. Hopefully everybody. We got to talk about we got to talk about what it is to be a strong black man out here. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it out here, man. That's the discussion for today, man. We really got to talk about it because it's an attack on that. But y'all already know it, man. It's a major attack on the black man. It's been a major attack on the black man. It's an attack on the black man, woman, and child. It's an attack on the black man, woman, and child out here. Terrence, what's going on? Shaquille, what's going on with you? Looking for another job. What it is? Miss Donnie, what's going on with you, queen? What's your line of work, yo? Jamar, what's going on? So it's an attack definitely on the black family structure, man. But they definitely got the black man, and they definitely are attacking the black man to the point where we are almost defenseless out here. It's a lot that we cannot say. And if we say something, we are under major attack. So we really got to tread lightly. We definitely got to watch what we say when it comes to a lot of different topics and subjects and things of that nature. Oh, Shaquille, man, some powerful gonna come your way, my brother. Just keep looking, man. Just keep doing what you do. Keep putting in the work. Keep thinking positively and things of that nature, man. Something gonna come to you, my brother. Stay positive. Oh, Jamar, I done made several videos on it. You already know I saw it. And even just before, what people don't understand, this is the problem here, what people don't understand too. Before even before the Lil Nas situation, Andronicus, what's going on? It's been an attack on us. It's been an attack. This agenda has been in motion. It's nothing new under the sun. This agenda has been in motion since we've been here, since they enslaved us and things of that nature. They never wanted to see us rise up. Ms. Donnie, no doubt. And that's why, divide and conquer. That's why that's a thing. That's why that's a thing. That's why that's a military strategy, divide and conquer. Like, that's legitimately a strategy if you want to conquer an opponent. Divide and conquer. Like, they literally tell you that. That's literally a military tactic, to divide and conquer. And they are literally utilizing that against us. And a lot of us don't even realize it. And it's crazy. Because what do? We start arguing about the exact things that they are trying to divide us over. So we playing right into the agenda every time that we argue. King Grady, what's going on with you? Peace, my brother. So what people don't understand is this agenda is nothing new under the sun. Wisdom, what's going on with you? What people don't understand is this agenda is nothing new under the sun. This precedes this Lil Nas X situation. This is just part of it, man. It's just part of the agenda. Of course, this is just fulfilling the agenda. This is just them putting something into motion, putting it right into your face. But, man, they've been putting this stuff into our face. They've been letting you know, or trying to depict the black man as being weak. When you depict that black man as being weak, guess who got to pick up that slack, whether it's directly or indirectly? When you make the black man feel as though he is weak, when you depict him as weak, then who got to pick up that slack? The black woman. So she thinks. So now that's what creates the whole strong black woman mentality, the INDE, the independent mentality, because you have depicted the black man as weak. You have forced the black man out of the household because you've made it more beneficial for the black man to be gone. So when you've made it more beneficial to the black man to be gone, now the black woman has to pick up that slack. And when she picks up the slack, she feels as if she doesn't need that black man. And now you have created tension. You have created conflict between the black man and the black woman. And there you go. There you have it. Everything is now destroyed based off of that premise. Hence why they made the rules they did. Hence why they made it more beneficial for the black man to be gone. So a lot of people don't really realize that part of the agenda. A lot of people think that it was just by choice or just because the black man is trash and all this, that, and the third, that the black man ended up away from the family structure. Wasn't the case. Again, it was systemic. It was systematic. They made it more beneficial. They rewarded these single mothers out here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All you got to do is do the knowledge to this history. You was getting some incentives. You was getting more money if the black man wasn't in that household, to the point where people were trying to hide relationships and things of that nature because they didn't want them to know that, because if they found out that the black man was in the household, they didn't get that assistance. They didn't get those incentives. They didn't get those financial rewards. So this is systemic. They knew what was happening. All right, we give them incentives and things of that nature. We make it more beneficial for this black man to be out of the picture. Then that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to give this single black mother a lot of benefits, a lot of assistance. So therefore, she going to feel as though she don't need this man. Then she going to actually convince the man not to be in the picture. Like, hey, we don't need you in the picture because we get all of these incentives, all of this assistance when you're not in the picture. And then on top of that, they're going to make it that much harder for the black man to do any type of work within the corporate structure. Y'all know how that go. Y'all know how that go. People don't understand it, man. We not in control of this system. So a lot of times, a lot of people say, man, you sitting there, oh, we just complain. We just blaming the white man. That's not literally what we doing. We just acknowledging the role. We just acknowledging what's really going on a collective scale, on a macro scale, on a macro level. When we look at it on a micro level, of course, that's when we can break down our own faults and our own role into this, man. But we have got to look at it at the macro level. That's economics. You got macro and you got micro. Macro, you looking at the larger picture. Micro, that's when you take it down a notch. That's when you take it down a notch and you look at the smaller picture. So the macro portion is us looking at the system as a whole. Then the micro is us looking at it from the village standpoint. But we cannot ignore the macro. We can't ignore the macro. We can't ignore the role. We can't ignore the fact that they done made policies. They done made rules and regulations that are literally discriminating against us, that make it harder for us to go up a corporate ladder, make certain types of money and things of that nature. Get houses or get homes in certain communities. Like, they literally have made laws, rules and regulations that make it that much harder for us to do normal things like get a house, get a loan, get a job, just by us being ourselves. Man, I got a lot of stories, man, that just confirm that. The neighborhood that my parents ended up living in, they say when they originally went into the neighborhood, it was all white people in that neighborhood, or predominantly white. And they say no white person in that neighborhood wanted to sell them a house. They lucked up, and the house that we ended up being in, the house that I grew up in, they lucked up, and that older white lady lucked up and said she would sell the house to them. But they went to a lot of other houses in that same neighborhood, and the white folks was like, nah, we not selling them this house. Like, that's what was happening. And that still happens. Rules and regulations, discrimination, things that we don't have any control over. All my people was trying to do was put themselves in a decent neighborhood. They was just trying to put themselves in a decent neighborhood. They was just trying to get a home. They was trying to have a home for their kids and things of that nature. And they got met with all that opposition. Man, just sell them the crib. What are you leaving this neighborhood for? You leaving the neighborhood and you don't want to sell them the crib? You know, just think about that, man. You about to leave this and you selling your crib. You about to move to an entirely new neighborhood. But you just so racist and you don't like black people so much. You don't even want to sell a black person this crib out of a neighborhood that you about to move out of. So this is the type of stuff that we done had to face. And this is the type of stuff that we still face. Like my parents, they wasn't doing anything. Like we can't sit here and not acknowledge these type of things, man. We can't. How can you blame my parents for that? What did they do? That was all white folks discriminating against them, man. All my people was trying to do was move in the neighborhood. They were not from this city. They moved from they were 9 hours away. That's where they grew up at. So they knew nothing about this state. They knew nothing about this city. So they didn't know anything about these neighborhoods, man. So they just trying to find a decent house. But again, they got the white folks, won't sell them anything. Won't sell them anything. Like I'm not selling this house to these black folks, even though I'm finna move out. I don't want a black person in this home. I don't want a black person in this neighborhood. That's the type of stuff that we've had to deal with that people don't want to talk about. And when you start bringing the stuff up, then people say you the reason why racism and things like that are still alive and won't die. Not the reason. My people, I didn't do that. That was your people that did that. That's your people that do that. That's your people that make these policies, make these rules and regulations. What rules and regulations are black people out here creating that's holding white folks back? None. We don't have that power. So we are not out here creating laws, rules, and regulations that's holding them back and holding their children back. Oh, wow, they still got a lot of rules and regulations that's holding us back and holding our children back. So come on now, miss me with that. We not the reason why racism is still thriving, it's still alive. Oh, King Grady. Yeah, man, listen, the Lil Nas, he just made that little video, man. Just go back, watch the video, or just do the knowledge to the video, and you will see what he did. You will see what he did. I don't even really want to discuss it, but you will see what he did. Wisdom, and I agree with that when you say we don't even necessarily have to come together. I agree with that. I agree with that. We don't necessarily have to come together, but what we do, all we really got to do is realize we got a common enemy. That's all we really need to realize is that we got a common enemy, and that enemy is not one another. Long as we realize that we got a common enemy, when it's really time for things to go down, then we're going to have each other's back. But we don't necessarily have to like unify and everybody just loving each other. All we got to do is realize we got a common enemy. It's like sports. Man, you have people on your team that you didn't necessarily care for. But when it was game time, y'all had each other back. That's all we got to do. When it's game time, when it's time to practice, when it's time to prep for the game, all right, we on the same team. We're going to have plenty of fights. We're going to have plenty of disputes. But when it's game time, guess what? We got the same goal in mind. We trying to get this W. That's all that we got to do. We got to come together when it matters. That's all we got to learn to do. We got to understand that when it's game time, we got a common enemy and we on the same team. So when it's game time, it's time for us to operate according to that. That's all that we got to do. That's all that we got. That's the only unity that we need, is to understand, realize we got this common enemy. And when it's time to go to war, when it's time to fight, we on the same team and we ready. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do and realize. Swag, Yusef, what's going on? Andronicus. It's going to always be, listen, it's going to always be a war on a black man as long as the power structure remains the same. As long as the power structure here in the wilderness of North America remains the same, it's going to always be a war on a black man, woman, and child. Always. That's never going to not be a thing as long as the power structure remains what it is. That is an actual fact. Ronnie, peace, what's going on with you? And Malachi York, I mean, for the most part, I don't really deal with Malachi York and a lot of his philosophy. It's some things that I agree with, a lot of things I don't disagree with. And I feel like they far-fetched. But yeah, I've listened to a lot of New Wapians or whatever they refer to themselves as. I've listened to a lot of them, read some work from people that are down with the culture, but I'm not too big on Malachi York. You're not about to see me going to bat for him and things of that nature and quoting a lot of his work. But he got some jewels here and there that I can rock with. Tryon, you already know. You already know. And Ronnie Ron, the New Nubian, that's basically the followers of Dr. Malachi York. Antoinette, Peace Queen, what's going on? Terenzo, what's going on? Wisdom, you already know, man. I'm just not getting to the comments, man. I had to do some venting. Thunder Scorpion, what's going on? Yeah, I had to get some venting off my chest. Art Cart, what's going on? Magic Rim, and that's the common enemy, and we got to really realize that. We got to realize that, man. Elites, what we call the 10%, bloodsuckers of the poor, like that's the common enemy. The people that are out here intentionally misleading the people, that's the enemy. That's the enemy. And these people exist. You have people out here that we refer to as the bloodsuckers of the poor, intentionally misleading the youth, intentionally misleading these adults that are in charge of the youth, etc., etc. So that's what's happening. That's the enemy. That's who we are fighting at large. That's who we are fighting at large. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of in-house disputes. I mean, you got to look at it, man. You got to look at it. Just look at your upbringing. Did you always, if you got siblings, if you got brothers, sisters, cousins, whoever you grew up with, did y'all always get along? Y'all probably had fights. You probably fought your brother a few times. You probably fought with your sister a lot. Y'all probably had a lot of disputes, disagreements, arguments, fights, etc., etc. But when it was that, when somebody was coming at your family, guess who back you had? Guess who back you had? Somebody was trying to jump your brother. Y'all just fought yesterday. But if somebody was trying to jump your brother today, who back you finna have? Your brothers. So that's how we got to look at it, man. We're not going to always get along. We're going to fight. We're going to do all of this. It's in-house. We're going to keep it in-house. We're going to do that. But when somebody is a threat to the fam, guess what? We protecting the fam. No matter what just happened a day ago or an hour ago, we're going to have each other's back. Period. And that's just how it's got to be. That's how it's got to be. Of course, we're going to fight. Of course, we're going to disagree. Of course, we're going to have disputes. That's normal. That's natural. That's family. That's what family does. But family also has each other's backs. And that's what we got to realize. Thunder Scorpion, exactly. Like I said, man, I can have a fight with my brother every day, but you better not try to lay hands on him or threaten him. Like it's time we going to bat for him. We're going to bat for him. We going to bat for him. I can argue with my sister, but I better not see you raising your voice at my sister. Now it's time for me to go to war. It's time for me to fight. That's just how that's the mentality that we got to have towards one another. Like, yeah, we're going to have our disputes. Yeah, we're going to have our disagreements with another black man, with a black woman. But then when another culture steps in and disrespects this brother or disrespects this sister, nah, we got to intervene. Like, what you doing? What you doing? You ain't coming over here disrespecting our people. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't come over here intervening, trying to tell our people how to live, trying to tell our people that they living incorrectly and things of that nature, trying to correct our people. You don't do that. We got that over here. We keep it in-house. So when somebody comes over on our turf trying to disrespect our people, then that's when we got to intervene. That's when we got to intervene. Jules, what's going on with you? Brandon, Nick, peace. What's going on? Wisdom, and that's what it is. Break down freedom. That's freedom mind. That's the only way towards freedom. Mentally, that mental freedom, mental liberation. Says you have got to free your mind. Break that word down. Like I said, freedom, free mind. That's the only way towards freedom. Mental. It's all mental. Beast reincarnated. It ain't necessarily even Lil Nas X trying to make black man look weak. It's the machine that's behind Lil Nas X. And that's the thing. What people don't realize too, it's a machine behind him. And they got people tricked, see, and I broke that down in my live video that I did earlier. See, they got people out here thinking that Lil Nas X just freely expressing himself, like ain't nobody out here striving to push him to promote that, striving to push him to put out this content. It's a whole machine behind him. He got a whole PR team. He got a team. He got a team of people saying, man, let's hit him with this. We gonna hit him with that. We gonna do this. We gonna shock the world with this, man. So he's a puppet. They got the battery in his back. It's somebody controlling him. So that's what's happening. It's the people that's controlling him, that's telling him what to put out. That's the problem. That's who is pushing forth this agenda. That's who we need to keep our eyes on. So he got a machine behind him. And that's what a lot of times we fail to realize, that it's a machine behind these people. It's a machine behind these entertainers. It ain't never really just the entertainer doing what the entertainer wants to do. So people don't realize that it ain't never really just the entertainer. Nah, that entertainer got a whole team of people that's co-signing what he do. It's a whole team of people in his corner giving him advice, giving him the green light to do something. So it's getting approved. If his team didn't approve it, then he wouldn't have came out with it. So it's the team. It's the people that's backing it. Ms. Donnie, you said a mouthful right there. Fighting each other, fighting the system, the LGBTQYZ, man. There's so many different letters in that community. We definitely fighting them. We definitely fighting them, and that's one of the reasons why I say the world is extra sensitive. The world is extra sensitive partially because of that particular community. You legitimately cannot say anything these days, and I made that point on Facebook once again. Again, if you friends with me on Facebook, you already know what's up. But I came out and I broke down. I said something along the lines of, if I came out, people know I don't really too much care. I'm gonna use Drake as an example. Don't care for Drake. I have openly expressed the fact that I don't like a lot of musical artists, but Drake has been one of them. I was like, man, I don't like Drake, don't like his music, don't like his content. It's just not for your boy. Can't rock with it. People's response. Okay, that's cool. I can see that. I respect your opinion. The moment I say I don't like Lil Nas X and his content, the music that he putting out, it's like, nah, you don't like dude because he gay. You don't like dude because he gay. You homophobic. So what's my reasoning behind not liking the straight artists that I don't like? I don't like them because they straight. Like, that don't make any sense. You can't even dislike a homosexual person, because then people gonna say you only don't like them because they are gay. It makes no sense. You don't like them because they are transgender. That's why you don't like them. So what's y'all reasoning behind why I don't like the straight people that I don't like? Because I don't like plenty of straight people. So please give me a reason why. Why do I not like the straight people? But y'all don't focus on that. The moment I come out and say I don't like something that a gay person did, y'all gonna say my sole reason for not liking it is because they gay. That's the weapon y'all gonna use against me. The only reason why you don't like what they put out is because they're gay. No, it's not. I don't like plenty of straight people. I don't like plenty of things that straight people do. But y'all never want to focus on that, never want to highlight that. The moment you come out and disagree with that community and say you don't like somebody from that community, and that's the only reason you don't like them. The only reason you don't like them is because they're gay. So a gay person that's in music, they can't put out trash music. They can't put out trash music, apparently. They put out music is good. If you don't like them, it's because they're gay. It's not because their music is just trash and you don't really too much care for it. Like the Old Town Road song. That song was trash to me. Like, it ain't had nothing to do with this dude being gay. I just did not like that song. Just like I don't like a lot of songs. I never liked that song. You know, the song he just came out with the video, do not like the song. Well, that's part of the reason why the stage, I don't like it. You can't force me to like something, man. You can't call me homophobic because I don't like something, man. Jonathan, no doubt. You always gotta do the knowledge to who's backing the industry puppets, because they puppets. It's like politicians, man. Y'all know how I go. The entertainers are politicians. Politicians got somebody backing them. They got people funding them. They got lobbyists and things of that nature. They got people that's putting money towards them, and they protecting the interests of the people who supplying them with the money. Same with these entertainers. They got people that's supplying them with the funds, the marketing money, all the dollars and things of that nature. They are protecting the interests of the people that's supplying them with the money. So they doing what the people with the money want them to do or telling them to do. That's how the game works. Oh, Jules, there you go. Get that water in, man. Drink your water. Oh, wisdom, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Magic rims, man. It's a lot of hypnotizing that's going on, man. A lot of hypnotizing, man. They putting us in that, they getting us in that trance-like state. Again, this is why a lot of people, they just get focused on beats and hooks. Man, you getting hypnotized. When you not able to look past the beat and the hook and you can't focus on what's being said, they got you. They got you. They mentally, they got you. If you one of the person that just can't look past the beat, you can't get past the beat and the hook. That's the only thing that gets you. They got you mentally. They got you. They didn't gave you that beat. They didn't gave you that catchy hook. So now they saying whatever they want to say on that track. So they have gotten you. That's what they are aiming for. When you able to look past that and really break down what's being said, they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like that one bit. Tay, what's going on with you, queen? Thunder Scorpion, man, exactly. Just because it's expressing his freedom doesn't mean it's plenty. And what people don't understand, there are plenty of so-called conscious artists that I don't like. But people don't pay attention to when I say that. They pay attention to when you come out and you say you don't like somebody from that community. Plenty of conscious artists that I have said I don't like. Plenty of just regular artists I said I don't like. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I'm going to give you my reasons why. And what's crazy is the same people that's going to bat for Lil Nas X, a lot of them on social media have bashed people. They have not liked people. So, like, what's your reason for not liking the people that you don't like? So it's crazy now that everybody is all of a sudden a saint when it comes to this particular situation. The same people that's going to bat for him, you can catch them online talking about people all day, 24/7, telling you who they don't like and why they don't like it. So I guess it's cool for you to not like what you don't like and for you to give your reasoning for not liking it. But then if I come out and tell you I don't like something from that community that you hold near and dear to your heart, now you want to call me all type of names. Come on now. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, man. That's all it is, man. I could go find some people that I'm sure probably got that type of that's homosexual and things like that you can probably vibe to. But it's like, dude, you just say you don't like one of them and you just homophobic. And come on now. Ms. Donnie, they definitely are. Definitely. Thunder Scorpion, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to try that water out. Yeah, wisdom, and that's what I've told people, man. Of course, it's not normal. It just ain't. Don't even make sense to say you like and love everybody. That's just not a normal way of living. You just don't like and love everybody, man. It's just you just don't do it. That's why I don't even entertain that type of philosophy. I'm not out here acting like I love any and everybody because I know I don't. You know, I know that for a fact. I don't live according to that philosophy because it just does. It's not realistic to me. Oh, Javon, man, that's a good playlist, man. I got a little more people, like a lot more that I listen to. But yeah, that's a nice 3. Miss Donnie, very real. Tay, there you go. That hit workout, there you go. That's one of the best ways to get in shape, doing that hit training. One of the best ways. Magic rims, man. I remember back in the day when I used to talk about it, man, people really wasn't trying to believe what it was that I was talking about. And again, you still got people out here, man, that's living under the impression that music can influence certain actions, certain thoughts. Man, yes, it can. All right, man, listen, when you start studying our ancestors, man, they understood the power of sound, the power of music, the power of the drum. They understood that can influence you. That can influence you, those frequencies. They understood that. That's what our ancestors understood, and they lived according to that reality. That's why music was an integral part of the culture. That's why it still is, because they understood the impact and the influence that music had and has. So the frequencies are definitely real, man. You can definitely influence the masses via sounds, via your words, etc., etc. And key word, influence. Notice what I said. I said influence. I didn't say make. I said they can influence. So people don't be understanding that's the difference between making someone and influencing someone and persuading someone. Big difference there. So a lot of people miss that. Like, they're never making you do anything, but it's about the influence. They call it peer pressure for a reason. It's peer pressure. They didn't make you do it, but they pressured you into doing it. And that peer pressure is real. It's hard to fight it. Lindell, peace. What's going on? Thunder Scorpion. Yep. Yep. And I got a lot of flack back in the day when I was on Facebook, and I called people. I said, only reason most of y'all voted for Obama was because he was black. A lot of people actually agreed with me, but I was getting that flack. They was like, this is an historical moment. We've never had a black president. I said, man, a black president ain't nothing to be proud of. You know, that's nothing to be proud of. I'm not, you shouldn't be proud of that. You shouldn't be proud of having a black president, a black puppet. That's nothing to be proud of at all. Soon as that man try to do anything for his people, assassination. It's a Dead Prez song, man, assassination. So as soon as he try to do anything for you, then he's getting assassinated. That's why as soon as Obama got up in there, they started bombing Africa. They started bombing Africa. Soon as Obama got up in there, man, they started sending bombs to Africa. That's what they started doing. Bobby, what's going on with you? Try on. 100% right and exact. Take Enzo. And again, you definitely start to emulate some of the music that you listen to. And a lot of people do this indirectly. You may be doing things that you don't even realize why you're doing them, and it may be because of the music that you're listening to. So this music definitely has an impact on you. And a lot of times the impact is indirect. You're not able to really notice it out the gate or on that conscious level. It may be a subconscious impact. So it's impacting you and affecting you in ways that you can't even pick up on. That's the power of the music. That's the power of the music. It can be affecting you and impacting you in ways that you can't even consciously pick up. And that's the power of it. That's the power of the music. So a lot of people don't even realize how they've been influenced by the music that they are listening to. They don't even realize it. It can be little small things, little small habits that you have, little small characteristic traits that you have picked up because of this music. You don't even realize it. Magic Realms, 100% fact. Same people. They the same people. You talking about you like the black president better than evil Hillary. Again, at the end of the day, you got a black face that's being a puppet, and the only reason that they supplied us with a black face is because they gave us Bush twice. The black face didn't even do anything about that. That's we romanticizing that presidency, man. Like we romanticizing that. We romanticize Obama, man, and we make Obama out to be something that he actually wasn't. We make his presidency out to be something that it actually wasn't. And that's what we do. Like we romanticize his presidency, man. Like again, don't matter who in that office, the agenda is getting carried out. And that agenda don't have anything to do with the upliftment of black people. When Obama was in that office, man, them cops were still killing us. Things were still happening to us on that level. Life didn't drastically get better for the black man, woman, and child when Obama was in office. We were just happy to see a black face as a president. We was happy to see a black mascot for the white team. That's all that was happening. That was the only thing that we was happy about, to see that black mascot, that black face on that white team. That was it. That black representative on that white team. That was it. That was it. That's literally all that was. Oh, wisdom, no doubt. Big time propaganda. Miss Donnie, we already know. We already know. Magic Realms, you're not about to be in politics and you don't have some level of corruption. You just ain't. And then every politician has a price. Every politician has a price, man. And they, again, in order for you to get somewhere, man, Claude Anderson talks about this heavy. In order for you to reach a certain level on a political basis, you're going to have people funding you, lobbyists. So you protecting the interests of the people that's supplying you with the funds, the people that's funding your campaign. You protecting their interests. You protecting their interests, man. And we got to understand that it's a game out here. Like they say, it's chess, not checkers. So somebody not just about to rise through the ranks, politically speaking, organically. It's going to be money behind the situation. And you're going to protect the interests of the people that's paying you every time. every time. Thunder Scorpion. And I'm glad you talked about that too. A lot of people think a lot of people that made it religious, and that's why I didn't jumped out of the conversation because I realized what was going on. So a lot of people think I dislike what he was doing for religious purposes. I don't care about a Satan, and I don't care about no religious God. That ain't even what I'm talking about in regards to the Lil Nas X. People should know me better than that. But people were jumping on the board. It was like, yeah, see, that's that devil worship, things of that nature. I said, first of all, I don't believe in a Satan, just like I don't believe in a religious God existing. I believe like my whole culture is something totally different. That ain't what I got a problem with in regards to the agenda. I don't even subscribe to none of that. So a lot of people start talking to me in this religious tone. So I had to exit the conversation. I had to exit that because a lot of people thought I was on that bandwagon, on that board. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. That's not necessarily what I'm even upset about. Again, though, it wouldn't even surprise me, man. They making a mockery of it. They probably making a mockery of it. So that doesn't even surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. But what's crazy about the religious aspect of this whole situation too, I didn't realize I had so many non-religious friends all of a sudden. Just a few years ago, when I was trying to give people the truth about religion and talking bad about religion, they was crucifying me. Now this dude lap dancing on Satan, now they applauding it, talking about his creativity is art. He's freely expressing himself. Whole while 5 to 10 years ago, when I was telling y'all religion is trash, ain't no such thing as a Satan, ain't no such thing as a hell, etc., etc. Y'all was calling me all type of negative names. Now all of a sudden everybody rocking with it now. Everybody rocking with it now. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Now that's funny to me. 10 years ago, I was out here dropping the jewels on religion, let y'all know the truth about religion, and y'all wasn't trying to hear it. Nobody was trying to hear it. Nowadays, it's like, oh yeah, Lee Lap Dance don't say forget religion, forget religion, forget religion. He's just freely expressing himself. I say, oh, okay. Oh, okay. But then when I was telling y'all the actual truth about religion some years ago, I'm a heathen, I'm the devil, and all that type of stuff. So I say, oh, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting enough. I take that. I take that. And now I don't even really debate that stuff like I used to, but I just thought that was interesting. I supply people with books, information in that regard. And it's like, all right, man, I was just getting met with opposition. Now all of a sudden everybody forget religion. They anti-religion now. That's freedom of expression. So that's what's up. Terrell, peace, what's going on? Yeah, Tay, like I said, man, I already sacrificed myself for you all. So for the people that didn't watch the video, I done already took the L for everybody. I watched it. Oh, Jonathan, always, man. That's always a distraction. Always. Always. And that's why we gotta rise up against that type of imagery, man. We can't be letting that slide. We can't be letting that pass, man, because at the same time, when we come up and we embrace manhood, going back to the topic of this video, when we go back and we embrace manhood, all the flack that we receive when we just come up and embrace being a strong man, we receive a lot of opposition and a lot of flack. So it's like, man, when we see stuff like that, man, we got to neutralize that type of energy and that type of imagery. We can't accept that. We can't allow that because it's not acceptable. So we got to lay down the law. We got to lay down the law, and we got to make sure people are enforcing this law. So that we ain't got time for that. We don't have time for that, man. We got to enforce laws out here, man. We got to lay down the law. We got to enforce the law. That type of stuff is not acceptable in the black community. We just not accepting it. You go to certain parts of Africa and you try to grind on any other man in the video. That's off with your head. It's off with your head. Oh, take Genzo, no doubt about it. But sometimes, because everything is a tool, remember that. Even if things are already within, the problem there is things have to be activated. The book can be a tool to activate what's already within you. That's the role that books play with me. Books activate what's already within me. So the books are a tool. You get the right book, it's going to activate. Malcolm X. Listen, Malcolm X was Detroit Red until he read Message to the Black Man. When he read that book, that activated Malcolm X. That Malcolm X was always inside of him. But when he read the book, it got activated. So that book was a tool. That book was a tool that was utilized to activate that Malcolm X that was always within Detroit Red. But had he not read Message to the Black Man, he may have never became Malcolm X. And Malcolm X would be the first one to tell you that and give credit to that book. So them books are always a tool. You always utilize the book as a tool to activate. It's an activation tool. It's an activation tool. That's the power of the book. That's the power of the book, man. That's why I say you can find a lot of gems and jewels in all of these books. You just got to read them with that in mind, that you're looking for the jewels, you're looking for the message to extract. When you do that, you activating a lot of things internally. You activating a lot of things internally. So for some people, that book is a tool that's going to activate that energy or activate that person that's always been inside of them. It's going to tap into it. It's going to tap into him, just like Malcolm X. Malcolm X got activated because of Message to the Black Man. And that's a fact when you study his history. When you study his story, that is what activated him. That's what made him wake up and say, man, you know what? I've been living the wrong life. I've been living wrong. So it ain't that we always got to gravitate toward the book, but for some people, the book can be a tool. It's an activation tool, just like any and everything else. So a book can be the tool for the next man, and the next person tool could just be life itself. So everybody has different tools. So everything can be a tool for your activation. But something is going to activate you. Something is going to activate that energy, as we call it. Something is going to activate it. Bill, when you ask me what does prayer symbolize, now what are you meaning? What does it symbolize? Because to me, honestly, if you ask me to break down prayer and what it means for me, prayer is just like, it's almost like self-talk. It's almost like an affirmation, conversation, dialogue with yourself. It's like you trying to motivate yourself, inspire yourself. Like that's how I pretty much look at what prayer is, man. I have to look at prayer as like an affirmation. Conversation with yourself, dialogue with yourself. Because when you got to sit, you got to understand, like, just look at the conditions of a lot of people when they pray. They praying for things like they may be praying for guidance. They may be praying to get through a tough situation. It's like you realizing all the things that you're going through and you praying for strength. So you understand right now that you're going through a tough time and your prayer revolves around having the strength to make it through that tough time. It's affirmation. That's self-talk. That's self-talk. That's you being aware of your situation, knowing that you need strength to get through that situation. That's what prayer is to me. It don't have anything to do with like any outside force listening to what you are praying about and for. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about discrimination. And I always use this example. You have 20 kids on the bus, and that bus has an accident. 19 of the children that was on that bus, they end up deceased. One child survives. All 20 of the parents prayed for the kids on that bus the night before to have safe travel. The one parent that prayed and their child so happened to be alive, what made that child so special? You mean to tell me that this God that we praying to, they only listen to the prayers of this one particular parent? Stuff like that don't be making any sense, man. I mean, like, that's why I look at prayer the way that I look at it. And I already know the type of responses that I would get, the way that people would try to refute what I just said. I already know the argument. So I probably already know, if you disagree with what I just said, I probably already know what your argument would be because I've heard them all. Literally. I've been there, done that. Yeah, Genzo, use the book as a tool. Everything is a tool. Everything. You gotta use books as a tool. Use life as a tool. That's when you get the best out of it. That's when you get the most out of it. When you use it as a tool. Every book again, we talk about agenda. You should have an agenda with every book that you read. It should be something that you're trying to get out of that book that can help your life. That's what we talk about, living mathematics, living out the reality, knowledge of self. You got to live it out. So you got to extract something from that book that you can apply to your daily life and live out that reality. That's what we mean by using the book as a tool. You should never just be reading for recreation. No, you should be reading for extraction. I got to take a lesson out of this book. I got to take something out of this book that I can apply to my life. Other than that, what are you reading the book for? So you should always be reading the book to extract the message and then apply that message to your life. And every book has a message. Every book, literally. I don't care what the book is, man. It has a message attached to it. You just got to be able to decipher it. All right, and Genzo, you say, so yeah, you're a 22-year-old man. Any advice of being in tune with my masculinity or to be more masculine? First and foremost, Genzo, you got to just define it. Got to have a working definition of masculinity for yourself. I'm not sitting there. I'm not about to break down a definition for you because that's going to be my perception and perspective and my definition. You got to break that word down. You got to look at what it means to be masculine to you. So you got to define that word, that concept in your own words. Then you got to roll from that. So you got to give that your own definition. And the reason why I operate like that, because you know the culture that I came from. That's how we was taught. So we would get the supreme we would get the math and we would get the alphabet. And we were just told to break everything down in our own words, how we see it. So you got to break down how you see masculinity, how you see what it means to be masculine. And when you start asking yourself questions like, what does it mean to be masculine? What is masculinity? That's going to lead to you doing research on the term, on the concept. Then when you do research on the term and the concept, you're going to create a definition in your own words based off of the research. Once you create a definition based off of the research, now you have something to work for and towards. So now you got that working definition. All you got to do now is live out the definition that you created based on your research. So that's how you do that. That's how you get in tune with the masculinity. Ask yourself what it means to be masculine to you. Do the knowledge to masculine people in your life, to masculine people that you may have heard about historically speaking. Just study masculinity. Just study it. Just study it, whether it's you studying yourself or studying somebody that you deem as masculine, whatever the case may be. But just study it. Ask yourself questions. And then you're going to research it and you're going to create a definition based off that research. And that's how you're going to get in tune with it. That's how you're going to get in tune with it. Because again, it all boils down to knowledge of yourself. That's how you get in tune with your masculinity as a black man, having knowledge of yourself. So you got to study the black man. So when you start studying the black man, for one, you're going to study yourself. Then you're going to start studying your history and your culture. And you're going to really see what it means to be a black man. So that you got to that's that knowledge of self, that knowledge of yourself. Bill, I'm not even going to say I lean towards manifestation over prayer. And let me break this down. If prayer is a tool that you use to better your life, I'm all for it. If prayer is something that you use to bring you peace, I'm all for it. Just like meditation, whatever you do that brings you peace, I'm all for it. I'm just a person of action. I just do things. I don't necessarily have a ritual or a technique, man. I just get up and I understand what I got to do and I do it. I'm a process person. So I'm a formula person. Like I deal with like science and math. So I'm into formulas and things like that. So if it's something that I want to do, it's a process that I need to adhere to in order to get it done. I'm gonna focus on that. So I don't have any ritual. I don't necessarily sit and meditate all day, every day. I just figure out what I need to do to get where I want to be and I do it. That's literally all that I do. I don't pray for anything. I may do affirmations here and there just to kind of keep myself in that positive state. I may do some breathing techniques, but that's because I'm a trainer, man, and breathing is important. So I ain't necessarily doing it to try to like manifest anything. If I want to get something done, it's a formula to do it. I'm following the formula. It ain't really spooky to me. Whatever it is you're trying to do in life, there's a formula. All you got to do is follow the formula. And if that formula don't work, then you follow the next formula. Whatever your goal is, I guarantee you it has been done multiple times in multiple different ways. All you got to do is try the ways. So I don't have to pray for anything. I don't have to do affirmations all day to try to manifest anything. All I got to do is follow a formula. So that's the type. I'm into like math and science, man, and that's all about formulas, all about process, step by step. Like that's what I actually lean towards. But again, if prayer, manifestation, and if that's something that you need and something that you use to help you, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I have no problem with people that pray. I just don't do it. I ain't got no problem with you if that's what brings you peace. And if you feel like that's helping you, I'm all for it. I'm all for peace, man. If something bringing you peace, I'm all for it. Because you could be doing a lot more destructive things out here. Oh, Terrell, man, we already know, man. Nearly Fuller Jr., man. That people sleep on his work. People sleep on his work. Andrew, peace. What's going on? Wisdom, and that's just the way. It's the golden way. Like I said, just think about it. Whatever it is that you want out of life, just think about it. It's a process. It's a step-by-step process that you can adhere to and follow to get exactly what it is that you want out of life. I guarantee you, if you want to lose weight, guess what? It's a process. You don't have to pray for weight loss. All you got to do is follow the steps. If you want to gain muscle, you don't have to pray. You don't have to do affirmations. All you got to do is follow the process. It's legit. It's people that have done this already. All you got to do is follow the process, the blueprint that's already been laid out. If you want to increase your financial situation, you ain't got to pray about it. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to start filling out applications. You're going to start figuring out side hustles. You're going to do research. It's a process. So it's a process for everything, man. So that's just what I focus on. Genzo, no doubt. No doubt. When you succeed, it's an entirely different thing. It's an entirely different thing, man. Especially, like I said, when you embrace the process. And another thing, too, again, no knock on the people that do it. But one thing I've realized, man, we don't give ourselves enough credit. And one thing I realized the reason why is because we do all of these other techniques. So the moment that you pray, what happens when you pray is you pray. So let's say you praying to lose weight. Like, man, I need to drop 100 pounds. And you pray for it every night. Now, the whole time you praying for it, you got to put in the work to lose the weight. Now, once you lose this weight, you going to give all your credit to the person that you claim you were praying to, instead of giving yourself the credit for putting in the work. It's like that doesn't make any sense to me. So when you start praying, even when people start doing when people do affirmations and things like that, we start giving credit to like the universe. It's like, nah, man, you put in the work. Yeah, you did your affirmations. That was a part of the process, but that ain't the reason why you improved your financial situation. That's not the reason why you lost the weight, because you prayed, because you did affirmations. You wouldn't have lost 100 pounds if you just prayed and didn't exercise and eat right. So it's like it was a whole entire process. But once you reach the end goal, when you value something like prayer and then you do these affirmations, you start giving credit to the universe. You start giving credit to God and stuff like that. But it's like, dude, you put in some work. Give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit. You didn't just pray for weight loss and then just woke up one night or one day and the weight was gone. It was a process. And that's with everything in life. You didn't just pray for a new job, yo. Like, nah, you was fed up with your old job and you put in a lot of applications, and one of the jobs that you filled out for, they called you back. They called you back and it worked out for you. So it's like a lot of times, man, we don't give ourselves enough credit. And I just feel like, man, we got to start giving ourselves credit for our situation. Like, hey, you did the work. You put in the work. You put in those applications. You said, forget corporate America, man, and created your own opportunity. Like, you did that. You said, I'm finna stop wasting my money and I'm about to be more frugal and I'm gonna save up my money. You did that. You literally did that. You said, I'm fed up being 100 pounds overweight, so I'm gonna lose this weight. You did that. Literally, you did that. You were responsible for that. You did that. You know, so a lot of people just they be failing to give themselves credit because, again, like I say, we like to make everything spooky, mysterious. So we like to give credit to the, something outside of ourselves, man, because we like that mysterious factor. We like that. We love that. As Black people, we definitely love that. That's why we so tied to religion and spiritual things and things of that nature, because we like that type. We like that aspect. We love that. We love it. That's how they're able to get us with religion, because we love that mysterious factor. When they say God works in mysterious ways, see, we love that type of stuff. That's how they're able to like kind of brainwash us and use religion as a tool to do it, because they know that we love it. They know that we cling to that type of stuff. They know it, so they use it against us. DJ Elmo, what's going on? Thunder Scorpion, man, I done had those type of conversations. They start, and that's what they start saying too. That's the thing. See, you gotta be specific. Nah, listen. If you want to lose weight, you better just put in the work. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you focus on the process and put in the work, then you ain't even got to be specific, because you put in the work. Like, I want to lose weight, so I'm focused on changing up my diet, my nutrition, and I'm gonna start exercise. So now there you go. That's specificity right there. The process is specificity. When you just leave it up, when you just speak about it, then now it may happen to you anyway. Anyway, it want to happen to you, it may happen to you. But when you focus on the process, it's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen according to the process. So if you say you want to lose weight and you go about the process, you say I'm about to change up the weight I'm eating, I'm about to eat better foods, I'm about to exercise, then the weight gonna come off in a specific nature, in a specific way, according to that process. Opposed to you saying, man, I just need to lose, I just want to lose weight, I hope I lose weight. Then like Thunder Scorpion said, you may mess around and catch a cancer or something, and then the weight drop. You asked for you asked for weight loss, but you wasn't specific. So that's why I don't even do all that asking, man. I say, all right, I need to do something, and I'm gonna just go about doing it. Yeah, Genzo, and that's what it's all about. You paid attention, man. You realized that it was time for change, and you acted on that realization. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. You acted on that realization. Things would not have changed if you didn't act on that realization, if you didn't act on that instinct. Wisdom. That's what life is about, man. What they say, knowledge is infinite, man. Like, it's infinite possibilities, infinite realms, man. We can tap into anything, any and everything that we want to. Oh, DJ Elmo, I can imagine. I remember back, DJ Elmo was crying. I remember back, like I said, when I was heavy into doing music, a lot of my political content, people in the UK was rocking with me. So like, if I would have took music serious, I would have had a nice fan base in the UK, because I had a lot of people from the UK rocking with some of the music that I was putting out at that particular point in time. So I'm already knowing. I'll take Genzo. They want to know, listen, they've been studying what we call the original man. They've been studying the original man since they came in contact with us. Of course they want to be us. But the thing of it is, this the part about it. This the part about it. They understand and they know that they could never be us. So that makes them upset. So to combat that, then they got to keep us enslaved. They got to keep us blind, deaf, and dumb to our true reality. So one of the reasons why they have studied us, they've studied our minds, is so they can figure out a way to keep us blind to the knowledge of ourselves. So they got to study the psychology of the black man. They got to study the psychology of the black woman in order to keep us enslaved mentally, because they don't want us to realize the true power of ourselves. So they have got to study us. They've got to study the psychology. They've got to study the physiology. They got to study what makes us sick. They got to study these type of things, man, so they can keep us enslaved, so they can keep us powerless. That's the main reason why they continue to study us now. The main reason. Of course, they're not going to admit that. They probably wouldn't even admit to studying us. But we know what it is. Those of us that know, and we just leave it at that. We just leave it at that, man. But that's one of the main reasons why they study us today. They study us so they can keep us enslaved. In order to keep us enslaved, man, they gotta know and understand the mind of the black man and the woman and a child, the black man, woman, and child. They gotta know and understand that. Their magic realms, and that's the reason why a lot of this stuff exists. That's the reason why they create certain vaccines. That's the reason why they market certain few. That's the reason why you go on the black side of town and the quality of the food is garbage and destructive. Like, that's the reason why all of this exists, because they trying to keep us enslaved. They trying to keep us passive. They trying to keep us soft. They trying to keep us weak. People don't even understand that some of the foods that you eat can have an impact on a man being feminine and things of that nature. And they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to make it seem like that's a reality. They don't want to make it seem like that's a reality, man. But a lot of these dudes are growing up feminine and things of that nature with these feminine traits simply because of the way the parents was eating, and simply because of the things that they feed to these children. They don't want to talk about that, though. They don't want to talk about that. They want to act like the foods that we eat don't impact your hormones. They want to act like this is not something that's a reality. They want to make it seem like folks just born a certain type of way, like it can't be influenced via what you consume, via the chemicals in food. They want to just say somebody was born a certain type of way. Got you. Just like people, a lot of these people that be born with these defects and these deformities, that has something to do with the parents and the way that they was eating. But they not going to tell you that, though. They're not going to tell you that, though. They're not going to discuss that. They're not going to discuss. They're going to make it seem like there is nothing you can do for these type of situations. Nah, it was something that you was eating, man, that was altering your hormones, that altered the way that your child turned out. They don't want to tell you that, though. They don't want you. They don't want to tell you that. They want you, when you pregnant, to continue to eat all that garbage food because they know the impact that it's going to have on that child. They know the impact that it can have on that child. They know what it can do to that child. That's why they like, go ahead and eat this junk food, eat this processed food while you pregnant. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. You destroying that child. Go ahead, do that. That's cool. That's fine with me. Go ahead and do that. We have promoted. We have put it on sale for you. 3 for $5. Go ahead and buy more of this junk food and this processed food, and mess up the quality of that child. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. Oh, take in. So it starts before you are a baby. It starts before you are conceived. And what I mean by that, it starts with the health of the mother and the father. So it starts before you are a baby. The quality of health of the mother and father factor into how you're gonna turn out. Point blank period. Point blank period. So it starts before you are even conceived. Before. It starts before you are a baby, man. While the mother is pregnant, while you are in the womb, things that this mother is consuming can impact the way that you turn out. And then even before you are conceived, the quality of health, the state of health of the mother, it plays a role. It plays a role. It plays a big role. No, I'll say again. So I was saying that you were saying it can even start while you're a baby. And that it can, but by that time, for some people, it's already too late. By that time, it's already too late. By the time some people are born, it's already too late for them because of the condition of the parents, because of the health of the parent. It's already too late. Once you conceive, once you hit earth, once you come out of the womb, for some, it's already too late. Oh yeah, again, so yeah, it's already too late. And I got a lot of books that talk about that, but it's already too late at that point for some people. So just think about it. Just think about what I just said. You are a defenseless child. Like, you dependent on these adults to take care of you. So when you already come out of the womb messed up, it ain't like you know about Dr. Sabi coming out of the womb. It ain't like you know about Dr. Layla Africa coming out the womb. It ain't like you know about alkaline living out the womb. So you out of the womb, you fresh. You don't know what to do to reverse your condition. So you just defenseless at this point. You can't do anything. You can't go on a fast to reverse your condition. You know what I mean? So just think about that. Just think about all these babies, man, that's born with all these defects and these conditions. It's literally nothing they can do. When you are an adult and you get diagnosed with a condition, you could at least do something about it, or at least try to do something about it. I mean, I got diagnosed with diabetes. All right, I can study how to reverse diabetes, and then I can undergo the process. Man, that child that's coming into this world all messed up because you ain't want to take care of yourself. They can't do anything. They dependent on you. And you done already messed him up. So just think about that, man. Just think about that. Nanya, what's going on? Magic Rims, they don't, man. They just want to eat what they want to eat. And they want to talk about cravings, man. I understand. I get it. Cravings can be real. But at that point, you got to stop being selfish. You know and understand that it's not healthy to be eating flaming hot Cheetos. You know, so like just because you think you craving them, you don't need to eat that, man. That's destructive. That's destructive. So like, man, we got to just start doing better, man, in all aspects of life. All aspects of life, man. We just got to start doing better. We got to value improvement. We got to value improvement. We got to value our health. And we don't. And that's why you see the condition. That's why you see the condition that our people are in. That's why it's the way that it is, man, because we just don't value our health. We don't value self-improvement. We don't value growth and development. We value the ignorance. We value destruction. That's what we tend to value. That's what we tend to glorify and praise. And then the people that praise otherwise, the people that value otherwise, again, they ban them. They silence them and things of that nature. DJ Elmo, you say is dyslexia and autism caused by a deficiency of omega-3, DHA, and mother and heavy metals. Actual facts. Actual facts. And I'm going to give you another thing. I talked about this. Dairy products. So when you got a child, man, a lot of children, they born with asthma and you know, a lot of respiratory situations. That's all dairy. That's all cow's milk. That's all dairy. That's all milk. So when you consuming a lot of milk while you pregnant, man, a lot of dairy products while you pregnant, your child gonna have a large chance of coming out with asthma or some type of respiratory condition, and that's all because of the dairy products. And that's a 99.9% fact. It's a 99.9% fact, man. So you got to make sure you're getting your nutrients in, and you got to make sure you stand away from a lot of those acidic foods. And that's one of the reasons why they tell pregnant mothers to stay away from seafood, because of the mercury, and they know the impact that the mercury can have on the child. So that's one of the reasons why they encourage a lot of pregnant women to stay away from seafood, stay away from fish, because of the toxic metals, the mercury primarily. So we got to understand that. We got to understand that, man. So a lot of your decisions that you make while that child is in the mood, Akuma, what's going on with you? So you got to be mindful, man. You got to be mindful of your dietary choices while a child is in the womb. Got to be very mindful. And even before the child is in the womb, you should be mindful of your dietary choices, man. You should always be striving to eat what's right and exact. Eat to live, not live to eat. But a lot of times, man, we do it backwards out here, man. We do it backwards. We try to reverse things instead of taking a preventative measure. And they've already said that it's better to take the preventative measure than to try to reverse something. But we wait till we get the condition and then we try to change. That's hard to do. It's way harder to reverse something than it is to prevent something from happening in the first place. You know, y'all already know that to be an actual fact. So we need to stop waiting until the child comes out with asthma, then try to reverse asthma, see what we need to do. We need to stop waiting until we get diagnosed with diabetes to see what to do to reverse it. Like, nah, we got to take preventative measures, man. That's the best way. That's the only way. That's the only way to operate. That is the only way to operate, taking preventative measures opposed to trying to reverse something. Because, man, reversing anything is a process, man. It's a hard process. It's a strenuous process. It's not easy. If you got a cancer, if you got diabetes, if you got anything, it's hard to reverse because it's a lot that you need to know. You got to get in tune with your body. You got to know your body type. You got to know what foods you need for your body type that helps reverse this condition. Because, again, what reverses someone else's cancer may make your cancer worse. So you got to start doing the knowledge to that type of stuff, man. It could get stressful. Cool, man. A lot of times, man, they don't want to discuss it. So I don't even force the conversation anymore, man. Like I said, people know where to find me if they want to know certain pieces of information. People know what I do. People know what I study. People know what I stand for. So if you want to know anything, you know where to reach me. And Akuma, it's dietary for the most part, primarily. It's definitely dietary when it comes to the fibroid surgery, definitely. But like I said, a lot of people don't want to have this conversation. And I was talking on Facebook. Speaking of that, I had a client. She literally came to me and she said she had just went to the doctor and she read me all her numbers and things like that. She read her blood pressure. Man, the blood pressure that she read me, it was like borderline hypertension. It was like 140 over like 90 something. And I was like, yo, Did your doctor talk to you about your blood pressure, man? Because his blood pressure is kind of high. And she was like, no. Doctor didn't say anything to her about her blood pressure being borderline hypertension. Didn't say anything at all. Just said they took the blood pressure twice. They checked it twice. That's all she said. And she didn't even know that she had high blood pressure. Like, she didn't even know. Like, when I told her blood pressure was pretty high, she was like, whoa, I didn't know. She thought she was like good because they didn't say anything to her. So I said, man, this crazy, a crazy world out here, man. They had her thinking that she had a normal blood pressure and it was borderline hypertension. That's the world that we living in. That's the world that we living in. Terrence, peace, what's going on with you? Thunder Scorpion. That's all the holidays, man. All the holidays. Somebody messed around and told me have a happy Easter, and I was like, hey, don't tell me that. But I don't even be tapped into these holidays, especially things like Easter, man. But then they dropped that up. Somebody said, like, enjoy your Easter. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I had to catch myself, man, because I was about to tell my, man, don't tell me that. But it's always about eating, especially when it comes to black folks, man. Y'all know we like to throw down, man, and they make a lot of money off of us when it comes to the food. When it comes to the food. Take Enzo, man. Good luck with it, man. I've been trying to get my people to do what's right and exact for a long time, man. It be rough. It's hard. So I don't even try to force it anymore. I just let nature take its course, man. At the end of the day, if they ready for some information, for some herbs or whatever, I got them. But I ain't forcing it. Yeah, Terrell, and that's what it boils down to. People being enslaved to the bad habits. And that's what I say. It ain't no such thing as something running in your family. It's only bad habits that you pass down. That's literally it. Cancer don't run in your family. Diabetes don't run in your family. The high blood pressure don't run in your family. It's things that cause cancer. It's things that cause high blood pressure. It's things that cause diabetes. Those are habits. That's what's running in the family. That's what you pass down. You're not passing down a disease. You passing down the habits that cause the disease in the first place. That's what you are passing down. So we got to stop saying that this stuff runs in the family. You got plenty of healthy people in your family. Just study what the healthy people in your family are doing to avoid and dodge these diseases that you claim run in your family. Because come on now. Genes load the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger. Nothing like that runs in your family. So stop saying that. Stop saying that. Take in. So I 100% forgot. I was like, whoa, I ain't want to look bad to her. I ain't want to look bad to the person that said, well, I really don't care. But I was about to legit ask her, when is Easter? Like, I don't even know when it is. I still don't know when it is. Dominique, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? Thunder Scorpion, I've definitely heard of bitter leaves. Haven't indulged, but I've heard of them. So, yeah, man, we got to do better with the habits. And another thing, too, this goes back to the topic. Once again, everything goes back to the black man. One thing that, as black men, one thing that we have to do, this is another problem that I'm seeing, and I see it in households. This is what we got to focus on doing. We can't isolate when it comes to healthy eating. What do I mean by that? When I say we can't isolate when it comes to healthy eating, you can't just say, I'm about to clean up the way that I'm eating, but the kids and the spouse can eat all the garbage food. That ain't how that works. We got to stop doing that. We got to lay down the law. We got to say, listen, this whole house about to change the way that they eat. This whole house about to eat healthy. We finna eat these fruits and we finna eat these vegetables. We finna lay off of this dairy. We not finna eat this, that, and the third. We got to stop isolating. You got to stop saying, well, I'm going to change the way that I'm eating, but I'm going to allow my kids to eat all the garbage food that I know is killing them. Doesn't make any sense. If you're not doing this to better the next generation, then what are you doing it for? You supposed to be changing the way that you eat to help out your kids so that they can live long and healthy lives. You're not supposed to be like, well, I'm finna eat the way that I'm eating, and then I'm finna let my kids destroy themselves. No, we got to start getting the whole household on board. I'm talking about your immediate universe, what you are in control of as a man. So as a man, you got to sit up and you got to say, listen, we finna get this together. We eating right. We eating right. We laying down this law. It's certain things that we don't eat up in this household. We don't eat this. We don't eat that. We not eating it. We ain't allowing the kids to eat it. You ain't eating it. I'm not eating it. We not eating that. Rules and regulations. We got to start laying down that law, man. You got to just lay down that law and enforce that law. Got to stop saying, all right, I'm going to watch what I'm doing, and then I'm going to let you do what you want to do. That ain't teamwork, man. That's garbage. That's garbage, man. That's just garbage. I'm going to use a religious phrase on you, and I'm going to flip it. You know, when they say the family that prays together stays together, it's like the family that eats healthy together, like they grow together. They elevate together. They evolve together. So like y'all should be striving to eat better, eat healthy together. You don't want to be seeing your health. You don't want to see your health elevate and then your spouse health decline. What type of relationship is that? Your health going up and her health declining. Like, what sense that make? Your health going up, his health declining. Come on now. What sense that make? Your health going up, her health and your children's health declining. What is that doing? Like, what is that doing? So we got to start laying down rules and regulations in the household when it comes to just like healthy eating. That's just got to be a policy, man. Just like you got the Muslims, man. We ain't eating pork. It's just things that we not eating. That's the law you got to lay down. We don't eat that in this household. Nobody in this household eats that. It's just it don't work. We're not eating that. Xavier, peace. What's going on, man? Appreciate you tapping in, man. We drop jewels. We drop jewels all day, every day around here, man. That's what we do. We drop jewels. Tay Genzo, I never really indulged in it in the Yoruba Mate, but I mean, I've heard good things about it. Tay Genzo, exactly. Carrying out the legacy. And I would assume that you wouldn't want your child carrying out a legacy like an unhealthy legacy. The whole reason why you supposed to be changing the way that you eat is so that you can break cycles. So if you changing the way that you eat, but then you allowing the child to eat however they want to eat, you didn't break a cycle. Because they gonna pass down those unhealthy habits that you was just trying to dodge, that you was just trying to break. They gonna pass them down if you allow them to do it. So it's like, what are you doing? You supposed to be changing the way that you eat to break a cycle. If you're not breaking a cycle, then what are you truly doing? So that's one thing that we got to stop doing, man. A lot of my brothers, for real, like I said, man, y'all know I train. That's what I do, personal trainer. And for real, I get a lot of the sisters be on it, man. But a lot of the dudes, man, don't be trying to change up the way that they be eating it. And again, it's that machismo, man. They feel like they have told us there are certain foods that we got to be eating as men. So we think if we ain't eating certain foods or we ain't eating in a certain way, then we not men out here. So we got to drop that. We got to drop that mentality, man. You ain't got to eat that meat to be a man. You ain't got to drink that milk to be a man. You ain't got to do that. So we got to drop that mentality. Let go of that alcohol, man. That's a big problem when it comes to my brothers out here, man. Alcohol got a grip on them. Every dude that I be seeing got that beer belly. Man. Just be drinking too much. Let go of the alcohol. You ain't got to drink. You ain't got to drink to have a good time. Let it go. You ain't got to eat that meat, black man. You ain't got to eat it. You ain't got to drink that milk, black man. You do not have to eat that. That ain't real man's food. That's fake food. That's artificial food. That's deadly food. You don't need that. Them fruits and them vegetables. That's real food. That's real food. That's a real man. That's real man's food right there. Fruits and veggies. Come on now. So we got to shift up the paradigm. A lot of sisters be willing to change, but I've seen in cases where the man holds them back. Man, I forget. I forgot her name off the tip of my tongue, man. But she was like a raw vegan. Man, I forget her name. Shoot, I forget her name. I just said her name is a client, but she was eating right and exact raw vegan, and then the dude that she was with, was just eating whatever it is that he wanted to eat. And she out here thriving. She's 78, however old she was at that time. She's 78, looking like she 38, and dude, same age as her, looking like he 178. So it's like, man, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. I don't want to be watching my spouse die when I'm out here thriving. Like, I don't want to be watching that. Nor would I be want to see that in my kids, man. No, Terrell. Now, this the thing. Terrell, it ain't about it ain't about force. Just like I talked about influence, rules and regulations, just like the Muslim. When you look, the Muslims have rules and regulations. You not eating pork. If you the more you not eating, listen, if you fool with that Muslim and that Muslim has a child, that Muslim child ain't eating pork. Now, when they grow up 18, 19, they get out on their own, they may do what they want to do. But when they under the rules and regulations of that of the Muslim, they're not eating that pork. Certain things they not eating, rules and regulations. You definitely have control over what that child eats. Definitely. Just like we was talking about in the previous video. Like, I grew up in the era where you just had to eat whatever it was that was given to you. Whatever it was that your mom Dukes cooked, you had to eat it. You ain't had no say so. I couldn't say, man, mom, you need to make this, that, and the third. Nope. She made whatever it is she felt like we needed to eat, and she put it on that plate. You didn't eat it, you starved. You was hungry. So you had to eat the food that was cooked for you. That's influence. That's influence. Now, I'm not going to force you to eat it, but if you don't eat this food, you're going to starve. You're going to be hungry. Again, it ain't force, but that's influence. I'm telling you right now, if you don't eat what's on this plate, you're going to be hungry. So that's what you got, man. That's what you got to do. You got to lay down law. You got to say, listen, we're not eating this. I'm not buying this. We don't look. If I'm supplying the food for the groceries, it's certain things that I'm not buying. I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to do the grocery shopping and we're not eating this. The rules and regulations. Rules and regulations. Got to lay down law. Every household has rules and regulations. And it ain't necessarily even about force. But I feel like every household needs to have rules and regulations. And I feel like the dietary aspect of it is big. There's certain things, just like when you was a kid, you couldn't eat the dessert or you couldn't eat the snack without eating your food first, without finishing your plate first. Like, that's a rule and that's a regulation. So they didn't necessarily put a gun in your head and make you eat what was on that plate. They said, listen, you can't have what it is that you want without eating what you need. Rules and regulations. And when everybody is on board, it makes it that much easier. So you gotta get with somebody. You gotta get with somebody that's on board, that's on that same type of vibe, or else it's gonna complicate matters, and that's gonna add unnecessary stress. So you gotta find somebody that's on board. Why would you? For one, why would you want to be with somebody that don't value their health, man? That wouldn't even make sense to me first and foremost. Nah, we both gotta value this health because we gotta be around. We gotta be around to see everything, to see everybody thrive, to see everybody carry on a legacy, and this, that, and the third. We got to be alive for that. So we got to take care of ourselves. So you can definitely have rules and regulations even when you with somebody. Like, that could be one of your deal breakers, man. You ain't trying to eat better. You don't try to watch what you eating. I ain't fooling with it. Or if you finna talk to me, then I watch what I eat. So if you rocking with me, and we eating, this the way we gonna have to eat. If you don't like it, then I just find somebody else. So we got to start setting that standard, man. That's part of our responsibility. We already enforce it. We make the rules and regulations. That's why they say things like man-made. Like, we have made these laws. We've made these rules and regulations. We making these commandments. These things have been made by man. So we gotta make these rules and regulations. Gotta make them. We got to create these policies. We got to create these restrictions, man. I mean, everything flows better when you have rules and regulations. Everything. I'm all for rules and regulations. I'm all for telling somebody, look, hey, we not doing that. That's discipline. That creates discipline. Drizzy Kicks, hold on. You say why do some plants eat meat? All right, I'm gonna first ask you, what plants are you referring to? Because that's big in regards to the answer of the question. When you say why do some plants eat meat? Because then on top of that, and it's part of evolution. So I already pretty much know where you're trying to go with that, Drizzy. So I can pretty much already touch on this because I know where this is going. Because I done been living this life for too long. I done had like every argument presented to me in every way, shape, and form. So I already pretty much know where you're going with that. But it's all about not even evolution, but it's a lot of information out here. So the information, the consensus is going to tell you. The consensus is going to tell you that when you properly plan out a plant-based or a vegan diet, you get everything that you need. There's literally nothing that you cannot receive from a thoroughly planned out vegan lifestyle. Just like you have to have a thoroughly planned out meat-centered or whatever lifestyle or diet. Every diet not diet, I hate using that word, but every lifestyle that you strive to adhere to, whether it's veganism, pescatarianism, or whether you eat meat, whatever the case may be. It's got to be properly planned out so you can get all your essential vitamins and minerals. When you look at some of the stronger animals, their diet is plant-based. Plant-based means what you eat predominantly is plant-centered. So if you consuming 99% of your food and it's plant-based, like vegetables, fruits and vegetables and things of that nature, and you're going to find your animals in nature, that's how they live, that's how they thrive. Predominantly what they consume, plant-based. That's what it means to be plant-based first and foremost. But there is not anything that you cannot receive from a vegan lifestyle, from a plant-based lifestyle, that you can get from a meat-based lifestyle. Just nothing. All the evidence is out here. All the information is out here. You honestly, the people that eat a meat-centered lifestyle have a lot more deficiencies than people that go vegan and plant-based. Now, there are some weak points in veganism, like calcium. Your calcium tends to be low as a vegan, but all you got to do is thoroughly plan that out. Your vitamin B12, you got to worry about that a little bit, but all you got to do is thoroughly plan that out and incorporate the vitamin B12 sources. Like, that's real simple to combat. So we do have weak points, but then when you go to the meat-centered lifestyle, then you got to worry about fiber. There is literally no fiber in animal protein and dairy products. You are literally getting absolutely no fiber. So that's why you see a lot of people that consume a lot of meat, they are constipated. That's a big problem in America, constipation. That's because we're not consuming enough fiber. I know some people right now suffering from diverticulosis simply because they don't consume a lot of fiber. And guess what the advice was? The advice was you need to consume a plant-based life. You need to consume a plant-based regimen. That was literally the advice, because you're not getting enough fiber. So when you meat-centered, more than likely you're not getting enough fiber. More than likely you may not be getting enough vitamin C. You may, and then they talk about like phytonutrients and things of that nature. You lack a lot of that type of stuff, man, when you eating a lot of meat. But fiber is one of the main things that people tend to lack when they consuming a lot of meat, man. A lot of people that consume the meat, man, they don't get enough fiber at all. At all. And it's a lot of other essential vitamins and minerals as well that we don't receive. Then it's a lot of vitamins and minerals when you consume a lot of meat that you get in abundance and you overload on it, which creates the kind of like the same effect as if you was low on it. Like iron, for example, like the form of iron that you get from meat. You tend to eat too much meat, then you're gonna have excess iron, and excess iron causes a lot of problems. And the reason why I point out the heme iron that you receive from meat is easily absorbed by the body, by the system. So I can just off the rip, I can tell you excess iron. And so listen, excessive iron can be damaging to the gastrointestinal system. Symptoms of iron toxicity include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach pain. Over time, iron can accumulate in the organs and cause fatal damage to the liver or brain. So that's what excessive iron can do to you, literally. So when you consuming the form of iron that's in meat that's easily absorbed by the system, if you consuming too much meat, then you probably overloading on the iron, and that's messing up your brain, that's messing up your liver. The iron that you get from the plants, the non-heme iron, is not as easily absorbed by the system and the body. So it's kind of hard to overload on that iron. So it's little things like that. It's little things like that, man. But the information is out here, man. If you properly, thoroughly plan out a plant-based diet, plant-based lifestyle, you get everything that you need. And you are decreasing your chances of suffering from a lot of different ailments and diseases. That's also the information that's out here. All magic rims, man. I'm telling you, man, alcohol got a hold on our people. Got a hold on our people. Daryl, peace. What's going on with you? I appreciate it. Drizzy, listen, if you got any question on testing the vegan lifestyle, hit me up, man, because it is not, listen, you can go vegan and you ain't gonna lose a step. You gonna gain strength. You gonna gain energy. You ain't gonna be deficient in anything when you thoroughly plan it out. You're probably more deficient in things now if you consuming meat. you go vegan, man, you're gonna force yourself to kind of balance everything out because you're gonna have to experiment. Hey, Nanya, man, hey, you better not eat pork around some people, man. You're gonna get these hands. Akuma, man, and that was the way we came up. And you better eat this food. You better finish to clean this plate. We don't waste food around here. You gonna starve. You don't want to eat it, you starve. Wisdom, rules and regulations, the commandments, principles, laws, like all of that. One thing you don't want to do is live in a lawless society. And that's at large, and that's in the crib, that's in the home. Hence why a lot of these children are doing whatever it is that they want to do. Lawless society. It ain't no law, rules and regulations. It ain't no rules and regulations out here, man. No rules and regulations. So everybody out here doing whatever it is that they want to do. Travian, man, that book definitely a jewel. Most definitely. Most definitely a jewel. Yeah, that book is definitely a jewel. Oh, Drizzy, no, I'm already hip. I already know you're not arguing. I just I just had a lot of these conversations, so I'm used to them. I'm used to them. I'm used to them, man. But you, like I said, you get everything you need. You get everything you need from the fruits, from the veggies, from certain grains like quinoa and stuff like that, man, and eat your beans. You get everything you need from them. Everything. And that should be your only focus, really. Only focus is, can I get everything that I need from this lifestyle? And I'm telling you right now, the answer is yes, and you're gonna feel that much better. You're gonna feel that much better in life. And that's all that you really need to just aim for and strive towards. Like, I need to feel better, man. I need to decrease my chances of acquiring an ailment, an illness, a disease, a sickness. Like, what's the best way to prevent that? And I'm telling you, it's through changing your lifestyle. Stop eating that meat, stop eating that dairy. That's essentially the way. It's too many studies out here that corroborate that and show and prove that to be a reality. Yeah, Drizzy. Yep. Wisdom, man. Like I said, I came into Dr. Sebi like well after I was off the meat. Elijah Muhammad, Dead Prez, and all of those people were instrumental in me letting go of the meat. And I was watching stuff on YouTube like little slaughterhouse videos and all of that. I had no knowledge of Dr. Sebi back then when I was doing that. I was reading some other stuff, came across Dr. Sebi like some years after I made the transition. Like I said, I was kind of doing stuff when it really wasn't popular. People, when I had went vegan back then, people didn't even know what that word meant. Like when I tell people I'm vegan, I had to describe and define what vegan was back then. Now everybody pretty much know what it means. I mean, still people that ask me, what does that mean? For the most part, now people know what the word means. Back when I was doing it, they was like, "Yo, vegan, what's that?" Take take in. So you say, why is there organic meat? Yeah, and grass fed beef and stuff like that. That's just wordplay, man. The meat industry trying to make it seem like they product is essential and necessary. So they're gonna create the grass fed organic meat to make you feel better about it. It's still toxic and it's still acidic, no matter what you want to label that meat. It's still acidic and it's still toxic. There is no such thing as an alkaline meat. Ain't no such thing. Don't even exist. No such thing as an alkaline meat. I don't care if you call it organic, natural, raw. There's just no such thing as an alkaline meat. No such thing. Terrell, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, take Enzo, and I try to meet people where they at because I don't try to force people to go vegan. I really be wanting to tell people do not eat it, but if you feel like you can't eat it, I understand that. So I try to give people the best option, like the grass fed or the organic. That's better than the non-grass fed or organic, but it's still garbage. But if you feel like you got to eat meat, then I'm gonna try to give you the best option, so to speak. Even though I would tell you not to eat it. But again, I'm not one of them dudes that, because a lot of people be thinking vegans out here trying to force everybody to go. I ain't necessarily doing that. I can meet you where you at. I can tell you how to eat this meat and still live a decent lifestyle. So I try to meet you where you at in that regard, if you need to eat it. But if you feel like you can go without of it, then I definitely recommend that. Always. See, swear you say it's so you say it's sold out. Oh, Drizzy, man, alcohol definitely was used as a tool, man. It's still used as a tool. That's why, listen, that's why after a certain age, you can go buy the alcohol, but then if you get caught smoking, it's a problem. You know, that's why that's like that, man. They know what alcohol does. They just know what alcohol does. So that's exactly why alcohol is out here. They know what it does. More people are killed by alcohol related accidents than marijuana related accidents. And that's that. We already know that. DJ Elmo, you already know. Yeah, take Enzo, quinoa, the cauliflower rice. But lay off the brown and the white rice. People be thinking that brown rice is good. Nope. It's just better than white rice. But lay off of the brown and the white rice, man. Don't even fool with it. If you're trying to choose a grain quinoa, like cauliflower rice is good. But don't eat like the brown rice, got that arsenic in it. Toxic chemical there. You don't toxic metal. You don't want that. And the white rice, we already know that that's trash. Rodney, you say my take on the ganja, and I always say when it comes to that, since I'm not a smoker, so I don't necessarily have a big opinion on it because I don't smoke, never smoke. And I ain't got no real reason for doing it other than my respiratory system was trash, and I never had the urge to smoke anything. So I don't really have a strong opinion on the matter. You know, a lot of people that smoke, a lot of people that talk very highly of it. I know some people that once smoked and now they don't, and they don't talk so highly of it. So I've heard both sides, but I don't necessarily have a strong perspective or strong stance on it. I just say don't use it as a crutch. A lot of people feel like they need the ganja or the weed to function properly. Once you feel like you need it for that, then now it's becoming a crutch. And that's when I feel like it becomes a problem or detrimental. But a lot of people won't admit that. So that's the only time where I kind of step in and be like, nah, man, you don't need that for that. Like, don't become dependent on that for peace, for creativity and things like that, because you already got it inside of you. So you don't necessarily have to use it as a crutch. You can use it as a tool from time to time, but you don't have to make it look like without this weed, I couldn't do this, that, and the third. No. No. Freezing the game. What's going on with you, my brother? Oh, Justin, yeah, get that quinoa, man. But like I said, lay off that brown, lay off that white rice. Lay off that brown, lay off that white, man. We got to start taking care of our health, my brothers. We out here sick, man. Our health is trash, man. I can speak just from experience of training men. We gonna lift the weights, we gonna work out. That ain't never the problem. We gonna go bench press. We gonna go do all this type of stuff. We gonna bang out some push-ups. Now we don't work out our legs like we should, but that's a whole nother topic. But we gonna go work out. We gonna lift some weights. We gonna do that type of stuff. But we don't be eating right, man, collectively. We don't eat right collectively as black men, man. So we got to do better in that department. A lot of black men be out here neglecting their health, man. So we just got to do better. We got to do better, man. We got to lay off of the destructive foods and the destructive drinks. Just got to do better. Yeah, DJ Elmo, and I've also done the knowledge to Wesley Muhammad and his whole view and perspective toward the weed. But like I said, man, I don't really speak on that in which I've never like engaged or indulged in. I can speak more so on the dietary aspect of life because I was once eating all these foods and I'm telling people not to eat. So I can speak more on that type of stuff because I indulged in it. But I ain't never really indulged in the smoke. So I got secondhand information on that. So I don't really dive too deep in that information because there's some people, man, that swear their life would never have been what it is right now. They in smoke. So it's like, man, I ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, Tay, I can see that. And that's what I say, man. But just as long as you don't use it as a crutch, I'm good. And Drizzy, that's how I feel with it, man. Like you should be able to get into that creative state. Say again, so man, I lay off the alcohol, period. That's always gonna be my advice. Somebody gonna tell you moderation is cool. I ain't never that trainer. I tell all my gonna lay off of it. I gotta do what I'm training right now, man. Lay off of that alcohol, my brother. Drink that water. There's plenty of other things that's beneficial that you can drink other than alcohol. So lay off the alcohol. Drink you a smoothie or something. No to the alcohol. I don't care what type of alcohol it is. I don't care if somebody telling you that it's healthy. Don't drink the alcohol. Drink your water, especially if you ain't drink all your water that you need to drink for the day. If you ain't got your water in that you need, you shouldn't be drinking anything. Yeah, Brandon, man, dudes don't work their legs. Dudes don't squat. Dudes don't be trying to squat. Dudes don't be trying to work the legs. So but we'll go bench press, we'll go do push-ups, we'll go do arms and back, and we'll go do that all day. But we ain't working the legs, but we gonna do the other stuff. Yeah, wisdom, and that's what I'm saying. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better, just based off of my experience. We gotta do better. C Square, what you say? You'd rather do intermittent fasting and eat right? What's your take on fasting? I got all my clients. I don't put them on. I suggest that they do some form of fasting. But the thing about it, C Square, you want to take your health to the next level. Eat clean and do intermittent fasting, because really that's technically how you're supposed to do it. Anytime that you fast, and man, you literally supposed to fast. You're supposed to go into your fast eating clean. So you really should be eating clean and intermittent fasting to maximize the benefits of the fast. A lot of times we fast, but we eat whatever we want before the fast or pre-fast, and we wonder why we kind of be feeling bad during the fast, during the times that we're not eating. And another thing people don't realize too, when you eat a bunch of empty calories, like processed and junk foods, you don't understand that you actually tricking your body. You tricking the mind, you tricking the body. So you may be consumed a large meal or a large sum of food, but since the food had no nutritional value, your body gonna feel like it's missing something. It's like, yeah, we ate all of this food, but this food didn't have any value. So guess what? Your stomach gonna start growling. That's the signal saying I need to eat more. I'm not fulfilled. You gave me a bunch of empty calories, man, but I need some nutritional value. So that's why a lot of times people can eat processed foods or foods of no nutritional value, and then 10 minutes later, it's like they hungry again because your body wasn't satisfied from what you gave it. So when you start eating a lot of these processed foods, it make it that much harder to survive and thrive throughout the day because your body is looking for the nutrition, is looking for the nutritional value. So when you eating all them processed foods or those foods that lack value, that's going to mess you up during the day, because your body going to start sending off those signals. That stomach growling, that's a signal. It's going to send off those signals saying, man, we need to eat. We need to get that value. I don't care about all these calories that you just consumed. They was empty. They had no value. So a lot of times, man, we need to make sure we eat things of nutritional value. That's how you avoid or dodge those so-called hunger pains. Give the body what it needs. When you give the body what it needs, you can actually eat less. You can actually eat a lot less because you supplying the body with what it needs. So what the word is, what is it? We overeat, but we like malnourished. So we eat too much, but we malnourished. So that's crazy. So it's like we eat a lot, but we malnourished, though. We don't have what we need, but we eating all the time. We eating all throughout the day. So just think about that. So the more foods of nutritional value that you eat, less you need to eat because your body is getting what it needs. A lot of times we eating so much throughout the day because we're not giving the body what it needs. Just start focusing on giving the body what it needs, and that's going to suppress that hunger. Like, trust me, living proof of that. Once you give the body what it needs, you good. Oh, tell you, man, what you want to put? I'm gonna tell you a good smoothie to make in the morning. All right, you can get you some frozen fruit. This one thing about frozen fruit, people don't understand that frozen fruit has a lot of nutritional value because it's what's called flash frozen, meaning as soon as they picked it, they froze it. So that keeps a lot of the nutrients intact. So you can start your morning off, man, with like some frozen fruit and then put you like some kale and spinach in that joint and some water or something, man, and some water in there, man, and throw like a banana or something in there, man. You good to roll. Your energy going to be through the roof. Wisdom, I already know. I already know. I already know how that go. C Square, you say, what's a good startup menu for a guy like me that needs to trick my mind and body so I won't reject it? So from that, I would have to kind of know what the current regimen is, because the way I look at it and the way I kind of coach people, I ask them, I say, all right, what are the top 3 things that's holding you back? And people start laying into me. They be like, it may be energy drinks, it may be sodas, it may be chips, it may be candy, it may be honey buns. They start naming the things that they eat on a regular basis that they shouldn't eat. So I start focusing on that. I say, all right, month by month, we're going to eliminate this. So if you drinking energy drinks every day, then I'm going to say, all right, we're going to eliminate that. No energy drinks. And anytime you get the urge to drink an energy drink, substitute that with like a fruit. Eat a fruit, because that's what your body really craving and needs for energy. So I focus on elimination and addition. So I'm going to focus on like some of the things that you gravitate towards that you eating that you shouldn't be eating. Then we're going to eliminate that one by one. And we're going to add something that can kind of neutralize it. So if energy drinks is your problem, then that means energy. Lack of energy is your problem. The best energy source is fruit. So the way to curb that is to say, instead of drinking the energy drink, consume fruits. Make a smoothie. So I just got to figure out what are the things that's holding you back. Then I can work from there. Because everything has a substitute, man. Everything has a healthier substitute. So I figure out like the top 3 things that's holding somebody back, man, and I focus on that. All right, so C-Square, what you say? You say bread, cheese, bacon, meats. All right, so what I'm gathering here, based off of like cheese, bacon, meat, so your problem ain't necessarily like a sweet tooth. So it's more so protein based. So you need to focus on more protein rich foods. Yep, and Hachiman, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hachiman, whatever. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm about to answer both of y'all questions. So cheese, bacon, meat. So it seemed like you got a protein situation going on. And the meat substitutes, a lot of people like to transition that way. But no, if you got a protein problem here, if you feel like, all right, man, meat is my problem, bacon, cheese, I need this protein, then I would recommend things like lentils or like beans and things of that nature. So you want to substitute, say, all right, I'm gonna eliminate the meat, and I'm gonna substitute that for lentils, because I don't eat lentils on a normal basis. So anytime I get the urge, or anytime I would eat meat with a meal, it's gonna be lentils. Lentils are a good substitute for like meat because of the protein, and like split peas. So you need to find plant-based sources of protein-rich foods and just substitute for the meat. And I would say go one by one. And then just think about the times that you eat bacon. So if you only eat bacon, which I would assume people eat the bacon in the morning for like breakfast, think about that. You just need to change your whole breakfast routine, period. So if you eating bacon in the morning, first and foremost, you shouldn't be eating a heavy breakfast. So bacon is something easy to substitute. So if you eat bacon for breakfast, The only thing you really should be eating for breakfast is something light, like a smoothie or some fruits or something like that. That should be your breakfast. So bacon essentially would be easy, because in the morning when you breaking the fast, you don't need to be eating anything that's heavy, and bacon is definitely heavy. So you need something that's light, primarily fruit, because you need that energy. So that's easy. Then anytime any meal that you would be making that revolves around meat, substitute lentils, split peas. Some people do tofu. I ain't too big on the tofu. So outside of tofu, you got the split peas, you got lentils, then you got things like hemp seeds, even like your dark leafy greens. They have a decent amount of protein. Pretty much everything got protein in it, but you have certain plant-based sources that are higher than others. So that's I recommend substituting those. Like the lentils are very high in protein. And then like chickpeas, kidney beans, black beans, those are also good substitutes as well. So you fulfilling that protein void, because that seemed like what you gravitate towards. And then bread is essentially, that's carb related. So bread is carb related. So all you got to do, you just got to substitute a healthier carb, and that's easy. Again, I will always recommend fruits for that. So anytime you get the urge to eat some bread, it's a fruit. Because when you are eating the bread, you consuming carb. You consuming carb. That's that sugar. That's what it's being converted into, is sugar. So you, after that sugar effect, when you consuming the bread, even the cheese and all of that eventually converts into sugar. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's why you can if you consume too much protein, you can become diabetic. So that's why a lot of people don't understand that. But when you get the urge to eat the bread, man, just get you a fruit or something. So it's like you just got to change up and switch up the routine. Hey, yo, 1212, peace. I appreciate you. Appreciate you tapping in. Sean, peace. What's going on? Yeah, Hachi, man. Yeah, just hold on. What I was just you say beef and pork. Yeah, lentils, man. Get the lentil game up. Substitute it for a healthier option. Lentils, split peas. Just start there. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't be trying to eat too many different plant-based protein-rich foods. Focus on like 2. And there you go. Keep it simple, stupid, as they say. Oh, see, Square, you far from gonna starve. Far from it. Especially if you consuming the beans and lentils, man. They are so nutritious, man. You getting a lot of value from the lentils, so you gonna far from starve. Them lentils gonna make you feel good and make you feel full. Yes, you're gonna far from starve. You're gonna be all right. Oh, Hachi, man. Yeah, it depends on what your goal is. Like steel cut oats, like somebody like myself, I would eat oats. I even put steel cut oats in a smoothie. But I have different goals than most. Like I'll be trying to build muscle or something like that. So I'll make a smoothie and I'll put steel cut oats in the smoothie. I don't necessarily cook the oats like that. I don't be having time. So I throw the steel cut oats in the smoothie. And that also helps with you staying fuller for a longer period of time, because of the fiber and things of that nature. So a lot of people, when you just eating fruits, like them fruits go right through you. So you, of course, when you eating the fruit, then your stomach gonna start growling, all that type of stuff, because the fruit going right through you. It don't take fruit a long time to go through and run its course. So when you combine it with something like some steel cut oats, man, then like a banana, man, a banana is one of the fruits that can help suppress the appetite. So when you take some bananas and put them in there with some berries and then some steel cut oats, that's gonna hold you over for a minute. Oh, swoops. Hey, you already know that's the mission. That's the mission. That's the objective, man. Got to get people on board with the health. Got to get people on board with it. That's what I'm here for. That's the sole reason. That's the sole reason for my existence. The sole reason for my existence. Sock, hey, eliminate that rice to get the quinoa. And like I said, when it comes to starvation, y'all got to understand something about starvation. It's impossible for you to be starving. And the reason why I say that, if you just ate something 2 or 3 hours ago and your stomach is growling, you're not home. You just ate. That's the whole reason when we study evolution. That's the whole reason why your body stores a lot of vitamins and nutrients and fat and things of that nature. You can go days without eating. So it takes a minute for you to actually reach the point of starvation. When you hungry, for the most part, you actually thirsty. Your body is actually crying out for water. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to actually starve. A lot of this is programmed, and we just program and condition to eat and want to eat. So it's certain things that trigger the signal or the signal for that hunger. So it may be like I'm off of work and now you just thinking about food, man. Just a thought, listen, just being around food can trigger the hunger pain. So you could just walk in the crib with somebody cooking, and that is enough to just kind of make you feel like you're hungry. But you really not hungry. You just around the food and just the smell of it. They done already did this experiment on dogs, man. Y'all know the Pavlov dog experiment. Just the white coat and the bell and all of that made those dogs salivate at the mouth. They really wasn't hungry. It's conditioning. And that's how we are for the most part, man. Just seeing a commercial that's promoting food can just make you think you hungry. So for the most part, we really not starving. We really not hungry. It takes a lot for you to reach that point of starvation. It takes days. You can't go that long without water, though. But you can go that long without food. So we got to get it out of our mind that we starving, especially if you just ate. If you ate 4 or 5 hours ago, where you not starving. you not starving. You far from it. Your body got a lot of fat that they got to burn through for you to actually be starving. For your body to actually start really tearing itself up like that. So we not starving for the most part. We not starving at all for the most part. And one of the reasons why you may feel like you're not starving when you eat some of the toxic food, because your body's so focused on breaking down the toxic foods, like it's overworking to break down these foods, it don't have time to send off these signals. So that's why you may be thinking that these foods are filling you up. It ain't that the foods are filling you up. It's not that the meat is filling you up. It's that your body got to work so hard to process it. Your body got to work so hard to process this toxic food that it ain't got time to be trying to make you hungry or make you feel like you hungry or make you think that you hungry. It's got to break down this toxic food that you just fed it. So now it's this illusion that make you think that this meat is filling you up. No, this meat is killing you. And your body is working hard to try to balance itself and deal with this toxic load. That's what's actually happening. But when you start eating clean, a lot of this food is going to naturally run its course. So now you got to deal with these so-called hunger pains, because now your body not used to being that clean. Your body not used to you eating food that they don't have to spend days breaking down. Now it only got to spend a few hours breaking down this food. Your body not used to that. Your body not used to that at all. So it's like, what's going on here, man? We might need to eat again. It's all conditioning. So the longer you stay on that path, like the easier it's going to be, to eat healthy and be healthy. So in the beginning, when you transitioning, you're going to feel like you're hungry, but that's really mental. That's 100% mental. If you haven't went days without eating, you're not starving. If you just went a few hours without eating, you far from starving. You far from hungry. You just thirsty. Just eat you some fruits, eat you some vegetables, man. You're not starving, you good. Your body's just not used to being that clean. Your body not used to processing food in a matter of hours. It's used to like, man, this dude just ate this meat, man. I got to break this meat down. It don't take me a day. It's going to take me 24 hours. And then on top of that, you just ate some more toxic food. So it's like, now I got to break down this toxic food. Then I got to break down this toxic food they just ate on top of that. Overload. So I don't have time to send off them hunger signals, even though I'm probably do it anyway. DJ Elmo, that's a fact. It's always best to sprout your foods, man, because that activates a lot more enzymes and that takes away from the gas, the flautulence, they call it. But yeah, the gas, it takes away from that impact when you sprout the lentils. Most definitely soak them for a long period of time. Oh, Kuma, no doubt. I already know. CEO, NYHD, peace. I ain't say peace to you. Yeah, cool, man. I tell people, man, when you fast for 3 days, you don't eat anything, but I guarantee you, you're going to be in that bathroom getting rid of something. So it's like, man, you like, man, I ain't eating 3 days. How am I eliminating? Man, that's that waste. That's that toxic buildup. That's that toxic buildup. Your body got a lot to eliminate. Man, I done fasted, man, and that's the most I ever use the bathroom. I don't know if that's TMI, man, but that's the most I ever use the bathroom when I fast. That toxic buildup. Your body finally getting around to this food that's been locked in it for a minute. That it didn't have the ability to get to because you kept overloading it. Hey, Rocco, 100%. Hachimi, man, quit it ASAP. Quit it ASAP. Don't even play around with it. Don't even play around with it. Quit that ASAP, man. Listen, you You rocking with me? I'm going to 100% stick to my guns when it comes to eliminating meat. Meat and dairy, eliminate both of them, man. Work your hardest to strive to get off of both of them. Don't care who likes that. Don't care who disagrees with it. I'm always stick to my guns. My life improved 1,000,000% when I dropped the meat, when I dropped the dairy. 1,000, 1,000,000%, billion%. So I'm going to always push my brothers to do the same. I'm going to always push my sisters to do the same. It's one of the best lifestyle changes you will ever make. And it's a proper way to do it for everybody. So everybody can go vegan. Everybody can go plant-based. And that's just a fact. You just got to do it in a certain way according to your body type. But everybody can do it. CEO, no problem. Yeah, wisdom. And there you go. You in tune with your body. You in tune with your body. But man, y'all, this was a powerful build, man. I'm getting back to streaming consistently, giving y'all this content. Can't let y'all down out here, man. But this was a powerful stream. But y'all already know what time it is for me. I got to get to this gym, man. I got to train some of these clients. Got a few classes, got a few people that I got to run through the ground. So I got to go ahead and make my way up to this gym. This was a positive stream. As always, I appreciate the comments, the questions, donations that I got via Cash App. All of y'all, man. I always appreciate y'all finding the time to tap in and tune in to your boy. Shout out to the new subscribers, the new listeners, and all that good stuff. I'll probably try to tap in with y'all tomorrow. If not, y'all gonna definitely catch me Thursday, and then I'll put out short videos, man. So we putting out the content. We striving to raise the consciousness of our people. We raising the consciousness on all different levels. That's what the objective is. But y'all be easy out here, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Tuesday. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. I'm out, y'all. Peace.